We've had a call this morning from Central Surgery Practice regarding a request for an urgent assessment. I've got the referral here from the GP. It's regarding Stephen Jackson. I'd be grateful if you could see this man urgently. Today his mother called me by phone to say she's worried. He has a history of schizophrenia and aggression and recently stabbed his father. He's recently left a hostel to return to live with his mother. I feel the mother is scared of him. I believe his niece also visits, but Mum says there are no risks to her. He hasn't picked up any meds in months from us. So that's the referral. I've got the rest of his notes here. He's a 30-year-old white man diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia some 4 years ago.
Does it say what the relapse signs are?
Part of his delusions were to do with his family. He frequently believed he was being tortured or followed by the mafia, and he believes his father was involved with the secret police. He's been in treatment with us since then, although we lost touch with him for a while when he went to Spain to visit his dad, who was working there. Whilst there, he stabbed his dad with a penknife, who then had to be admitted to hospital. Stephen was deported back here and referred to forensics, who took over his care for about a year or so. They viewed him as a potential risk to his family. There's a complex relationship with his mum. He's got a younger sister who's got a daughter who'll be about 3 now, and the daughter and the sister both live with a mum. What else have we got? There's a history of cannabis use, and this has been said to exacerbate his mental health problems. In fact, last year there were a couple of episodes of serious violence.
What about alcohol?
Don't know.
And medication?
He's on olanzapine, 20 milligrams, but he's got a history of non-compliance. We mentioned the cannabis, haven't we? There's no history of self-harm or suicide, though. His father died last year, and subsequently there have been tensions with the mother. She's very supportive and says she's never felt under direct threat from her son, but has from time to time had to take action. For instance, she once hid all the knives in the house, which brings us to the point, really. The mother rang the GP this morning. She seemed quite anxious, as we've heard from the referral. She's doubting that he's taking his medication and his behaviour has been quite erratic. So we need to work out how we're going to tackle this, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely beautiful.
I have heard.
Yeah, beautiful weather and always a little bit of a breeze, you know, so you never get too hot.
Oh, really? I'm long
Yeah,
overdue a
beautiful.
holiday. I was actually thinking about going there next
Oh,
year.
you should. Be a nice place to go.
I think we might actually be here. It is number 9, isn't it? Yes. Oh God, sorry, what's his name?
Oh, Stephen Jackson.
Okay. Brace yourself. Stephen Jackson?
Yeah?
Hello there. We're from the community mental health team, and we were wondering if we could have a chat with you.
What about?
Well, why don't we come in and we can tell you all about it?
Thank you, Stephen.
Through there. You want to take a seat over there?
Sure.
I'll grab a tea or something.
No, thank
No,
you.
I'm fine, thank you.
Sure. Right.
What's going on?
What do you mean?
You've been grassing me up or something?
I don't know what you're talking about, Stephen.
I've got the fucking mental health here. You better not be behind this.
Oh.
Kettle's on. So what's all this about then?
Well, first of all, thanks for seeing us today, Stephen. I'm Dr. Mehta. We've not met before, have we? I'm a psychiatrist, and I'm part of the team that's looked after you in the past. The reason we're here today is because your mum rang the GP, and she was just a little concerned about you, Stephen.
What do you mean?
Well, she rang and spoke to the GP because she was just a bit worried. So we thought we'd come and see how you are.
What do you mean my mum's been ringing you? What's she been saying?
Well, before we get into that, it'll be really useful to hear from you how you've been feeling recently.
I want to know why my mum has been ringing you up.
OK, it's nothing to worry about. It's just that your mum was worried that you might have been avoiding taking your medication recently, that's all. How have you been getting on with the medication?
We just want to make sure you're okay, Stephen. Was that your mum in the kitchen just now?
What you been saying about me?
We don't want to upset you. Your mum's not been saying anything about you. She's just a little concerned. So we've come to check that everything's okay with you, that you're not in any trouble. We're just here to see how you are. Are you okay with that?
She made me mow the fucking grass when it was wet. What's she trying to do? Kill me or something? Stupid bitch. That's why she's shut in there. She tries it on again. She's had it.
How long's it been since you've been back at your mum's?
Not long. A week.
Does it feel a bit weird?
What?
Being back here after all that time?
No.
I wonder how that tea's getting on.
Right, so he's been back about a week.
Yeah.
It's Stephen Jackson, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, and it is number 9. I think the next one is number 9. Yes. Here we are. Okay.
Hello there, we're looking for Stephen Jackson. Oh, hello there. My name's Dr. Sam Mehta, and this is Philippa Dawson. She's a social worker.
Hello.
We're from the community mental health team, and we were wondering if we could have a chat with you.
What about?
Well, your GP asked us to come round and see you, so we're here to make sure that you're okay and everyone in the house is okay.
We're fine.
Would you mind if we came in to talk to you, Stephen? It'll be really good to catch up with how things have been going for you lately. Do you want to lead the way?
Come on then. Close the door.
Thanks very much.
Stephen.
You want to sit there?
Do you mind if I sit here, Stephen? Would that be all right? Philippa, do you want to?
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry, Stephen. Would you mind very much if we were to put our stuff on the table?
go on
there?
then.
Would that be all right? Yeah. And I'm just going to move
Thank
this
you.
down over here, if that's okay.
All right. I was going to make a cup of tea. Do you want one?
Not for me, thank you, Stephen.
Oh, I'm fine, thanks as well.
What's going on?
What do you mean?
You've been grassing me up or something?
I don't know what you're talking about,
What
Stephen.
time did you say you'd call the team to let them know we'd be back?
12 o'clock.
Kettle's on.
We didn't realise someone else was in.
Yeah, my mum. It's her house, isn't it?
Would you mind if we had a quick word with your mum?
Yes, I would mind. Anyway, she's busy.
What's she doing?
Cooking. So, what's all this about anyway?
Well, first of all, thanks for seeing us today. Perhaps we should introduce ourselves properly. I'm Sam Mehta, and I'm a psychiatry doctor. And this is my colleague.
Hello, Stephen. I'm Philippa Dawson, and I'm a social worker.
We understand you've just recently come back to live with your mum. Is that right?
Since last week.
Did you tell your mum just now who we were?
No.
Will she get a bit of a shock if she comes out of the kitchen and sees 2 strangers in the house?
She won't come out.
Why is that?
She just won't.
Okay, so tell us, who else lives here?
Just me and my mum.
I noticed there are a few toys around.
That's my sister's little girl. She's around sometimes.
Oh, what's her name?
Ashlyn.
That's a lovely name. How often does she visit?
On most days after nursery. Your mum works, so.
And does Ashleen stay the night?
No, she goes home for dinner.
Okay, Stephen, would you mind if, just for our records, if I took a few details about Ashleen?
If you must.
Okay, thank you. It's just to keep everything up to date on our files. What's her full name?
Ashlyn Kingston.
And date of birth?
She's 3. Birthday's March 10th.
Okay, and what's her address?
14 Queen Street. It's around the corner.
And what nursery does she go to?
I don't know. It's on Queen Street.
Okay, thank you very much. I bet she's a bit of a handful.
Get some of my tits. Sometimes she's all right. Sometimes she just moans, you know.
And how does that make you feel?
Pissed off.
And what happens when you get pissed off?
I end up shouting at her or go out.
Oh, where'd you go?
Around my mates, just to get away from the noise.
So, you were in the Kingsway hostel up until last week. How was that?
I hated it. It was full of nutters. I just hate feeling trapped like that, so it's a shithole.
So what's it like being back here?
It'll be alright if my mum didn't keep winding me up. She made me mow the fucking grass when it was wet. What's she trying to do? Kill me or something, stupid bitch. That's why she's in there. If she tries that again, she's had it.
Stephen, would you mind if we spoke to you and your mum together?
Leave her out of it.
I understand you were on medication recently. How was that?
I've stopped it. It's not working.
Well, in what way? I mean, what would you have liked the medication to do?
Just chill me out. Help me sleep. Instead, it made me fat and I couldn't get it up.
That doesn't sound very pleasant. Some drugs can have that effect, I'm afraid. We can try you on another one that suits you better and will help you rest. What goes through your mind when you're lying awake? Do you hear voices?
They tell me to do things.
What sort of things? Do they ask you to do things you don't want to do? Are you hearing them now? Is it mainly at night time you hear them? What do they tell you to do?
Private stuff, family things.
To do with your mum? To do with Aisling? Anyone else? Do the voices tell you to harm your mum? Stephen, does any of this worry you? Now, I know you don't want us to talk to your mum, but she may want to talk with us. What do you think about that?